It's okay, it takes time. I know.
Welcome back to Strong, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with another amazing guest. Today, we are in the United Arab Emirates where we meet Gia, who's going to share her story and her journey. We want to be inspiring you with real life stories about real people, and that's what Strong is all about. So if this is the very first time joining us, thank you for watching. And if you are returning again, thank you for staying with us here at Strong. Welcome, Gia. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm great and I'm excited as well to share the story, basically to inspire the world.
And you're already doing that. I just by being here today and wanting to share your story is already very, very inspirational. But what would you say has been your driving force behind wanting to be with us?
Because I believe, sharing your stories, in fact, you are healing through your stories, you are healing other people and yourself as well.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. 2020 has been quite a challenge for so many, with the pandemic really changing how the world of work is and changing the dynamics of friendships and community. How has the last 6 months been for you, Gia?
Well, if you ask me from the start, as I was traveling to Pakistan in March, and I got stuck in Pakistan. Well, as you know, I have been told you about my condition regarding I have weak muscles condition known as spinal muscular atrophy. So over here, I was scared to go to the gym because they don't take care, like in Pakistan, they don't take proper hygiene care regarding if you go to the gyms. And I was scared that either they have, sanitized the gym stuff or not. But I have realized, and literally being honest with you, that now I'm never gonna back up with the gym. Like I will do it. I'll never take that for granted. For me, it's like if I don't do gym, my condition gets worse. And, like it's really difficult for me to get up in the morning and, do all daily routine work. But I did all my routine works myself with the bands and with the other stuff. But then what happened was that my back got twisted. And it was really struggle for me to, and I was upset. I cried and I said, okay, this is the thing which I can't control. My health is not in my hand right now. When it was in my hand, I was going to gym. But the God, there might be some reason, and there is some reason. I couldn't find out the reason right now because I was still thinking that why, I can't go to gym, why I am stuck. But I'm pretty much sure there's a reason behind it.
So let's rewind a little bit. You mentioned the biggest challenge that you're facing right now with your health. Can you talk to us a little bit about what it is and how it feels to be you with this condition?
Okay, so spinal muscular atrophy is, a genetic disorder. And 1 in a 4 person is a carrier. Even the unknown random person is a carrier of SMA. When they both get married, then you have 25% chance that your child has this condition. And it has 4 types. I am type 3, and it is a progressive condition. By the age, this condition gets worse. It's like getting up from the floor is difficult. If you fell down, then it's really difficult. You have brain fog. It's difficult for you to focus. You are actually very intelligent, but a slow learner. The intelligent effects.
How old were you when you found out that you had this?
Well, I diagnosed it on myself, like 26 years old. When I was 26 years old, I was, searching on internet that why, after I finished my university at the age of 23, I started searching on internet that why my body is getting weak, as my pink finger gets tired when I type. And even when I write something, I couldn't write. And for me, for holding 1 kg dumbbell was very difficult, and taking a shower. So I searched on internet that what's wrong with me, the symptoms I searched. And then I thought, okay, because nobody told me here in Pakistan that I have any kind of, condition which is going to get worse. They told me it's just a weak muscle and it will be like this. You don't have to do anything. It's just a little bit of, the physical activities, like, the manual activities. And with manual activities, I was getting worse. Then at the age of 26, I found a trainer in Pakistan. He was really, really good. He was new and he was young at that age. And he actually worked on me. He studied me. And then, now I can hold and I can walk like a lot and I am improving. So this condition, when somebody, tells that they have SMA, it's not just, something to get ignored of. Because for me, I can cancel the plan at any moment. Even if I have to give my master class, if I'm not feeling well, I have to cancel that. I can't tell anyone. In this condition, it's difficult to be in a relationship. Why? Because people in my country, I don't know about Europeans, I'm going to talk about the Asian people, which comes under my experience, that they want to see the sickness on your face. In terms of my condition, it's somehow invisible. But then if you want to get married, then it's difficult for you to get married if you're living, in the Asian countries.
So you said that you self-diagnosed yourself. Is that something that most people with this condition do themselves, or do you get diagnosed medically with this condition?
No, it doesn't, because then I contacted some of the doctors in America through email. And then they told me that go for these tests. It was biopsy and some EEG test. And then I went through those tests and got to know at the age of 29, where I was confirmed. I knew it, I have SMA, but I just want to confirm it. And at the age of 29, they told me that, okay, you have spinal muscular atrophy. To be honest, it didn't, I didn't bother it, because I knew back then that I had some kind of condition.
So you've been living with this since you were 26, where you diagnosed yourself.
Well, I am living with this when I was born, because, when I was born, I used to fall down a lot. My parents, as I was living in a village, my parents didn't knew that I have this kind of condition, because they weren't aware of that. So it was difficult for me in schools. I was bullied as well because of my condition, because for me, climbing stairs, I twist my body and then I hold the railing, and then, I lift one leg and the other leg, and it's how I climb.
And was this condition as it is from when you were young? Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So all these years, how did your parents react? What did they think you had, or did they have any support?
They supported me. Well, they thought that I am lazy, because I was very, very fat. I remember I was 84 kgs. And because that's what I was hearing in schools as well through my teachers, that you are so lazy, Javaria. Why you come late in the class? You climb stairs, slow. And I remember one of my English teacher, she once told me that if you come late in the class, I'll fail you. And she actually failed me in that semester. So I in my mind thought that I am lazy.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 19 years old.
And at 19, you felt your body getting weaker?
Yeah, absolutely.
And did you ever reach out for medical help at that age?
I did a lot, and nobody told me. I went to the doctors, those who were in Pakistan, but I didn't have the knowledge of internet at that time. And I was living in hostel. I was living in different city. Like I was living alone over there.
So talk us through your mindset at that time. What did it feel like to be 19, to know that your body, that there was something wrong, that you weren't able to identify, you weren't able to get somebody to tell you what you were experiencing, and people in your life making you feel like you were being lazy? What was it like for you at that time?
Well, to be honest, I didn't felt bad, because I was a person, I'm still a person who lives her own life. If someone is going to tell me that you can't do this, I'll show them that I can. I had very good friends, and I had bad friends as well, who didn't support me. I had people who left me in my hard times when I was living alone in the hostel in Pakistan, right? I was crying, but because my father always told me that You have to be grateful no matter what. I had this kind of support, this kind of, strong support from my family. They always supported me that you have to be nice to the people. And I think this thing actually turned in a bad way in my relationships. This thing being a people pleaser, however, they told me that you have to be nice to people, right? Even if they're talking bad about your condition. But then this thing, I took it negatively, maybe because I thought that if I'm going to be with someone, if I'm going to please them, if I'm going to give them gifts, either it's my, intimate relationship, or either it's the relationship with my friends, they will be with me.
Javaria, tell us a little more about how you reached out for help. So you said that your trainer at the age of 26 was young and he started to do some investigating and to help you. What made him stand out of everybody else? What made him decide, there's something not right, I want to learn more?
Well, I just got to know when recently I was in Pakistan last year. He told me that he liked me, so that's why he, worked on me. That he wanted to do something. Yeah, so that's something I'm like, okay, now he's telling me and he's married, so there's no point.
Okay, so talk us through finding out. You're 26, you find out there's actually something that you can put your finger on now. You know that this is it. This is a medical condition. You've lived with it your whole life, but now you are finally able to identify what it is. How did that change you internally, in your mindset, in your outlook for your life?
If you ask, like 4 years now, because it's been 4 years I'm living in Dubai. When my condition was, as I told you, it's a progressive condition. I was actually doing exercises in Pakistan, but still this condition was getting worse. 5 years back, I used to get up from lower chairs on my own, but now I need help to get up because I like at my home and everywhere there, it's high raised chairs. So for me, I hate low raised chairs. Even if I go to restaurants, I ask for help. But the thing changed. It's been 4 years. I forced my parents that I want to go to Dubai and I want to live alone. And they said that if you fell down, how are you going to get up? I said, if I fell down in my room, I live alone in my room. You don't know either I have fallen down at night or either I'm sleeping. You don't know if I sleep in my washroom then. Of course, I have to struggle on my own. Nobody is going to tell you that I have fallen down. So I said, I will leave my house. I don't even care if you won't allow. My dad, really chill person, he told my mom that, okay, let her go, let her live her own life. And her mom was a little bit skeptical. She said, no, I can't do that. And then my sister, she forced her that let her live. Because I felt that while living in Pakistan, I was getting depressed. I was gaining more weight. I was doing my online business. I was earning the money, but I was not happy because I was depressed, because wherever I go, I need to call my friends, or either I need to ask my brother that if you can take me to any mall, because everywhere there are stairs, and I couldn't go alone. It's not, wheelchair accessible country. Though I don't use wheelchair, but still this country the Pakistan is not, wheelchair friendly. So when I came to Dubai, I was shy person. I was confident, but I had insecurities of my own. Like what people will say if I will get up like this. But people literally supported me. They supported me. I saw two kind of people in Dubai. They supported me and some they judged me. But over there, I developed my inner confidence. And if you ask me this year has been the best. 2020 has been the best year to me because I have built and I have washed out my insecurities of, pleasing people and looking for the validation from other people and looking for the other people's opinion. Now I don't care. I don't care even if someone is asking me or, because I usually, people ask me a stupid, weird question that how do you get up in a toilet? And, now I don't even care what people ask. I know who I am.
Do you think that people asking you questions like that is out of ignorance, or just because they don't know what this condition is and they don't understand?
Well, I believe it's because of ignorance, because they're not even aware of that. You know, if somebody is walking perfectly fine towards you and then they sit, or how they climb the step, so that somehow, you know, make them weird. I mean, that what's wrong with you? Is everything okay? So it's a kind of their concern maybe, or ignorance as well.
I ask you that because that's what Strong's about. It's about meeting people and talking about life journeys and life stories and challenges that every person is facing. And sometimes we assume that people watching, that they should understand, and they ask questions, and they can come across as really rude, but it's really about educating, isn't it? It's about educating people and finding that compassion to educate, but there's also a frustration behind it. And I imagine that the frustration for you is people being insensitive, perhaps in their questioning styles, or insensitive in how they might look at you. Javaria, why Dubai? Did you find that Dubai was a fantasy that you wanted to come and explore, or was there, there was a driving factor in your career? Because Dubai is an amazing place to be, but it's also a place of fashion and fast and, people coming and going and transition. I don't imagine it to be a place where somebody with challenge would find living here very, very easy. Why did you choose Dubai of all the other places that you could travel to?
Well, because I was a makeup artist in Pakistan. I worked for 3 months, and then I want to enhance my skill. And one of my friends, she told me that, why don't you come and join this institute, and then they will give you a job. And I said, yeah, sure, I can. Over there, I did my training for 3 months and then worked for 3 months, total 6 months. What I felt that maybe because that was my first time going abroad independently without my parents, where I could, I could see that, okay, wow, that's an amazing disabled friendly country, where, because I live in JVR. Because if you go furthermore to Dera side, to Sharjah, then those sides are not friendly. But when you're living, the main area of the Dubai, then you'll see that they're very friendly people over there. And that's why I decided, because other countries were far from Pakistan. Dubai, if something happens to me, my parents can come, like, within getting a visa. And it's like
It was
3 hours from Pakistan.
a very reasonable distance. Javaria, what's changed since you moved to Dubai for you?
Well, my career. Because else I was fighting for my career. I want to become a makeup artist. And apart from my online business, I always had a passion of being an artist. My mom told me that, why don't you open a salon in Pakistan and just start hiring the people, and they'll do makeup and it will have your name. I said, no, that's not my work. I don't want to do that, because I want to have people to know that Javaria Malik, she has her own signature looks. But then this thing didn't, go well because of my condition, as my hand trembled a lot. And then later I decided that, why not become a chef? Same thing with the chef as well, that you need a lot. And then 2 years, I didn't do anything in Dubai. Being honest, I simply enjoyed my life. I wasted actually, I think I was learning a lesson. Being in a wrong relationship, I was happy. And being a people pleaser, I was happy. And now I get to know that I was learning a lesson. I was going to Saudi German hospital, and somebody over there told me that, because they know that I live alone in Dubai, and a patient over there said that, you know what, you are my life coach. And I didn't even knew that what life coach is. In 2000, and I think the end of 2018, she said that you're a life coach. I didn't knew that what life coach was, because that was my first journey of being a public speaker. I only wanted to become an inspirational speaker, that's it. And then she said, why don't you go for life coaching? Because when I come to you, you ask so many questions. You make me feel that you can change your mindset. And I didn't even knew about mindset thing. then I decided, then I started studying about the coaching thing, and then, you know, I'm here. I broke up. I think that's the best thing, which coaching taught me, that you
I
need to
love it.
value.
So you're talking about a relationship. What's it like for someone with your condition to have a relationship?
If, you know, let me counter question here. How if someone tells you that they love you, you're a nice person, be like this, but they can't marry you because you have a condition? Nobody will gonna marry you because you have a condition, so better live your life like this. Where I was telling that person, I invited him to Dubai, and I said that, see, I can do everything. I can, you know, cook breakfast for you. I can give you lunch. I can do laundry. I'm doing my work as well. I'm going to gym. I'm going to massage therapies and chiropractor as well. When I can do each and everything, even I'm roaming out with my friends. I know I have to complete my 8 hour sleep. If I can do that, taking care of you, then I think, for me, I believe that I can be a best wife. But maybe I was just being a doormat for that person. I won't blame him. That was my mistake.
So challenges in growing up, having the feeling of being told that you were lazy and being told that you weren't trying your best, to finally at the age of 26 finding out for sure what was wrong, and then it being finalized for you at the age of 29. You then moved to Dubai to start a new life. You've gained confidence. You were able to find a new career, and you have found a way to live independently, and you're thriving in your life. Looking back at the younger person, looking back at that 19-year-old who was feeling there's something wrong with me, but I can't figure out what it is, what do you wish that she would have known to save some of the struggle that you've had?
That you shouldn't care. People will talk, and the lions shouldn't roar to the barking dogs, because I know that people gonna talk a lot. People gonna talk shit. I'm sorry to use that, but they do talk, and it's on you that you just have to ignore them. Why to waste your energy on them?
So let's look forward now. We looked back. We talked about your younger years. We talked about the transition that you made from Pakistan to Dubai. I have to say you're just so inspiring, Javaria. And when you look into the future, when you think about your tomorrow, what do you aspire to complete?
For me, as I'm planning, if I say that I see myself in Canada.
Okay, so more
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah, for more travel, because I know that over there I have searched a lot more, you know, in coaching, in terms of coaching as well, I'll have more opportunities. And then in terms of my health as well. As you know, Dubai is a bit expensive, and over there, if you get a PR, then it's on them. And I want to inspire, because I know, I believe that my story, it's not about my story only. It's about, I care about all of the person, because everyone is going through different traumatic experience in their life. We should not compare the traumatic events, but we should just see that we all are going through different struggles of life. So I just want to bring change in them, that you need to change your mindset. Don't go for anything. If doctors told me that don't do exercise because you are overdoing your muscles, and that's not good for your health. For me, I believe that your mind is the best ingredient, and it's the best believe. It's better you believe it.
Varia, what are you most concerned about when you think about life? What is your biggest concern, your biggest fear?
Well, for me, biggest fear, being married.
Why?
Because my mom told me that you don't have to be dependent on anyone. Nobody is going to be there for a sick person like 24 hours. So you have to be so independent that you know that you can live your life.
So why does that scare you to get married?
Because I have experienced a lot of, the toxic relationships. All three of them were toxic. And all three of them told me that I am disabled, though I am not, and such kind of things. So I am actually trying to heal myself through that experience. But still, I am writing down, I'm visualizing that what kind of person I want in future.
What kind of person is that?
Oh, that's something maybe I believe in fairy tales. Trust me.
I
So
love
there's
to
going
see
to be
your,
some Prince Charming waiting for me.
when I'm looking at you from the outside and I'm watching you, this is the second time we meet. We had a brief interview a few weeks ago, and I'm seeing you again today. You come across as so strong, so resilient, and so cheerful. When nobody's watching, Javaria, what's it like to be you?
For me, I'm crazy. If nobody is watching me, I'm literally, if I'm sad, I'll put on the music and I'll dance. Because I believe these body movements, physiology that change your emotions. That's, I have been watching Tony Robbins a lot, and that's what he said. That you need to, in the time when I was in depression, I watched Tony Robbins a lot. And then I started, learning and got training of NLP, where they said that you need to move your body and that will change your emotions. Though I was doing that for years, but now I get to know about that. Now I'm aware of it.
Who do you look up to, Javaria? Who's your role model?
Don't take me wrong, but for me, I am. Because I didn't knew about any of those speakers, but now I listen to them because I have seen a lot of ups and downs. And, in my relationship, my boyfriend has pushed me and I have fallen down, right? And now when I see that, for me, I think I have cured up a lot in terms of my relationship, in terms of my inner securities.
When you look back at your life, what do you want to remember as the most memorable moment?
Well, that's a nice question. I never actually thought of that. I think it's going to be the lessons which I have learned. I'm pretty much sure.
What are the lessons?
Do not trust blindly. And you need to be careful if someone is love bombing you. Don't be an open book, and stop. There is a difference between sponsoring a man and supporting a man.
This is a whole other conversation. I love it,
Yeah.
Javaria. Spinal muscular atrophy, type 3. There's somebody watching this that this episode is going to touch at their core. What do you want them to understand if they're going through a physical challenge, a health challenge? What do you want them to remember because you were on this show?
I know that if I tell them that it's in your mind, the people who are listening me, they will feel like punching my face, because I have been there. And when somebody tells me that, you can do it, a physical fit person tells me that you can do it, it's just in your mind. I feel like, punching them hard, that what do they know about my struggles? But yes, your illness and your sickness is from you. You can heal it. You just need to dig deep inside your unconscious mind. That's what I am trying to do that.
So when you say you can heal it, do you mean on a physical level or on an emotional level?
Both. Firstly, if you are going through your condition, any medical condition, you need to accept that. Accepting is really difficult when you have a condition, because you get frustrated. You are focusing more on the other side and not focusing on your health. A lot of people with SMA, 33 years old, 40 years old, they are wheelchair bound. I have joined few Facebook group where we share our videos. One of the guy, I saw his video today, 40 years old. He was literally, like this. He was moving his feet. And some of the 34 years old, they are wheelchair bound. Why? Because doctor told them that don't overdo muscles. They're not even using their muscles. They told them they do not do exercises. This condition is progressive. So they have believed what doctors said. They're not believing themselves. You need to, you need to understand your body. You don't have to overdo the muscles, but at least do 5 days a week. But you need to understand that when you need rest in between.
And how does a person understand when they're overworking their muscles and when they need to rest?
You will have pain. Well, for the pain, it's like 24 hours you are in a pain. But what will happen is sometimes you'll feel like that you're having lots of cramps under your calf muscles. And then you will feel that your shoulders are getting weak. It's very difficult for you to hold the mug because you haven't recovered from your exercise. You will feel literally weak. It's difficult for you to get up from the bed as well. So if you feel like that, then take a rest for 2 days and then start doing again the exercise, the same as you are doing.
Javaria, I'm just so inspired here. We're talking about a woman who is going through physical challenges, and when you're talking about relationships. I just find that really interesting. You've gone through so much physically, emotionally. You've gone through so much. How does a man in a relationship have the power to make you feel small when you have risen above so many obstacles?
Absolutely. That's the question I asked myself last year. And what I come up with, that because I had my insecurities, I thought that maybe this is the person who will accept me. I don't know, either any other person is going to accept me or not because of my condition. Then if you talk about, these are all my beliefs through my society, through my culture, that you won't get married because you have a physical condition.
Do you still believe that?
No, not at all. Come on. Now I have raised my bars.
Amazing. That is just so amazing. Javaria, you are an incredible young woman with an incredible journey. The most positive mindset I have come across in a long time with the physical challenge. We had a guest on our show many episodes ago, and she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And the one thing that I'm seeing from you, and I saw from Cortesia as well, was this inner light that is just so strong. And it's this positive, I can take on the world and I will take on the world. Where do you believe that comes from? Because from the outside, it looks incredible to see, but it just comes across as so seamless and so natural. Where does that power from within you come?
I think my parents brought me like that because they always told me that to do gratitude, no matter what. Even if I fell down, I'm like, thank God I have fallen down, but I didn't broke my legs. And now for me, I have been doing a lot of gratitude. If you ask me right now, 1 hour is of gratitude. And I think that is making me more strong.
What do you mean by gratitude? So we hear this a lot. You need to be grateful. You need to be grateful and, be grateful for what you have. So when you say I spend an hour a day with gratitude, talk us through what that's like for you and how you do it.
Oh my God, I love this. The gratitude is something which you talk, I got a breakup, you have challenges. We never thank God. Did we ever said that, thank God you have given us a lot of challenges in our life? We never spoke that way. So what I do is I write down, or sometimes I talk that, thank you so much for giving me this life and for teaching me the lessons. People come, my friends, those who know that I have been broken in terms of relationship, they'll say, oh my God, that was your mistake. And I said, yeah, and I accept that mistake. I am proud that I have done that mistake because else I wouldn't knew it. And I thank God, I thank God that he brought me those person whom I learned from. Else, if I was physically fit, I would be living in Pakistan and I would be having a kid in my, lap, and I was married. If I would be a typical girl from Pakistan. So gratitude now has taught me a lot of things. Even if I'm sleeping, when I woke up for turning my sides, I still say thank God. That why? Because for me, changing the sides is a bit difficult because I need to lift my leg with my hands and then I turn my sides. And then I said, thank God, at least I have power in my hands that I can turn myself.
Resilient, incredible, strong, positive, beautiful, inspiring, aspiring. These are only just some of the describing words that I'm able to think about in this minute. When you see yourself in the mirror, who do you see? Or what do you see?
I see myself because I always tell myself that I'm going to be a billionaire. I have a vision board. It's not about the money being a billionaire here. Why? Because I want to open those physiotherapy centers, not even the people with my condition, but with everyone. You know, I have seen a lot of people, they can't afford the treatment. And then helping those people. I want to raise my standard of living. I will raise the standard of giving over there. So when I see myself, I am like, okay, you can do that. God has given you that power. I have believing that there is something in me and there is something really big. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I'm pretty much sure it's going to come out.
So when you look in the mirror, you see the hope of helping others.
Absolutely.
It's so beautiful. Gia, amazing. I believe in gratitude as well, Gia. I believe that sometimes life really hits you across the head with the hardest thing that you think you can get through. And it allows you the opportunity to meet inspiring, amazing people. And I feel that on this journey with Strong and meeting inspiring people like you has given me the opportunity to see the beauty in a part of life that I didn't believe I could. So the amazing experience of hearing your story and hearing how you've overcome probably the scariest thing that a parent would have to see in a child, you know, the inability to help your child through a health issue, the inability to help your child be like the child that society and the community would expect them to be. But then to see their child grow up and flourish into a remarkable young woman is just absolutely inspiring. And I don't know if when you look in the mirror, you really take a breath and see how inspiring you are. And if you don't, I really hope that tonight you will, because you are.
Thank you so much.
And this brings us to the end of probably the most humbling conversation I've had.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
This brings us to the end of another amazing episode. Javaria is based in Pakistan. I mistakenly said that we were in the UAE. I didn't realize that you were in Pakistan. I apologize for that, Javaria, and anyone watching. And this is what's so remarkable about the opportunities that the pandemic has offered Strong, is the ability to travel around the world and meet inspiring people like Javaria, when before the pandemic, it never crossed my mind that we could do this. And I think the learning that I'm seeing is in the challenge of not being able to travel home and see my family. In probably the most emotional time in my life, I am able to travel around the world and meet amazing people. So for that, I am so grateful. Thank you for reminding us, Javaria, to find the gratitude in our life.
Thank you, you as well.
And anyone watching tonight, I apologize for my rusty interview skills, but I thank you for joining us. And I hope to see you again next week when we bring another amazing guest to Strong.
It's so